Hey folks, welcome to Blending today. So today we are starting Unit 4 Week 3 where we are working on the long O sound. So we know that long O says O. It says its name just like it would in the alphabet. And we have practiced the O blank E spelling of the long O, which just means that it is a silent E that would come at the end of a word. And that E doesn't make any sounds. The only reason it's there is to tell the O, stop saying ah, start saying O. So we're going to do our high frequency words first. And of course, make sure you're watching and paying attention and participating to really help you own the words. About, carry, or, because, find, over, know, listen, found, would, near, hard, were, laugh, start, more, into, other, our, animal, ate, give, small, blue, warm, food, flew, caught, right, woman. Wonderful, thank you. All right, let's get started with our blending. So first word, no. Your turn. Oh, no. So this word no, it's a high frequency word, and like we've said before, now that we are learning new sounds, we can sound those words out now. Some of them, not all of them. You'll never be able to sound out caught. You will never be able to sound out could and would and should. Those are ones you just have to know. All right, so and says O says O. So in this word, the long O sound that you hear, O, you hear the letter O, is spelled with O by itself. So just like we learned with long A, and just like we learned with long E, those vowel teams, long A, long E, and long O can also be spelled with just O by itself. So that means you kind of have to know that you can flip them until it sounds right in the word or matches the picture. All right, so let's blend. O, no. Next word, go. Your turn. Ga. O, go. Another high frequency word that we can sound out now. G says ga. O says O, ga. O, go. So yeah, remember, O by itself can now say the long O sound. Next word, so. Your turn. S, O, so. Another high frequency word. S says S. And O by itself can now say O, S, O, so. And again, these might be words that you don't even have to sound out because you know them already. All right, next word. Bold. Your turn. Ba. O, old. Bold, bold. B says ba. And O by itself, O. LD, olda, old. Ba, O, old, bold. So watch this. If we cover up the B in that word old, or I'm sorry, bold, then it makes another high frequency word, old, which when you say it now that you know that O can now, or long O can now be spelled with O by itself, you can sound it out. O, old, old. Okay, next word. Load. Your turn. O, da. Load. So in this word, load, that O, that long O that you hear, is going to be spelled with O-A. So O-A is now another way that we can spell that long O sound. L says O. O-A, O. And if you notice, the word boat is spelled with an O, an O-A. O-O. D says da. O-O-D, load. All right, next word, goes. not entirely sure. But G says ga. And O-E, another way that we can spell that long O sound. So that blank before the O-E just means that there will always be another letter before it. So in this word, S says s, ga, O's, goes. In this word goes, the blank, the something else that comes before that O-E is a G. So ga, O's, goes. All right, next word. Toad. Your turn. Ta. O, da. Toad. T says ta. And O-A. Vowel team. Going to work together to say that long O sound. A whole bunch of vowel teams in this line. So O-A is a vowel team. O-E is a vowel team. O-A, vowel team. Okay, so toad, toad. Next word, told. Your turn. Old, told. So the word told and bold, they rhyme. You can hear that same ending sound. And I hear the long O in there. So told and bold. So that means it's going to end with an O-L-D. A high frequency word, old. O says O. L-D, olda, old. So ta, o, old, told. So like I said before, it's easier to break it up into chunks that you know. So if you're trying to sound out this word, old. Oh wait, I see the word old, O-L-D. I know that that's the word old. It's a high frequency word. So you can sound it out now. Old, told. Excellent. Next word, bat. Your turn. At, bat. So when I say the word bat, I don't hear long O. I hear ah. B says ba. A says ah. T says ta. Ba, at, bat. So I'm going to add one letter to this word, and I'm going to change the whole word. I'm going to change the sound, and I'm going to change the meaning. So I'm going to add an O to make the word boat. Your turn. Ba-o-t, boat. B says ba. Now I added an O to that word, and it changes it. It turns the A into a long O. I'm sorry, it turns the O, becomes a long O once it works together with its buddy A. Ba-o. T says ta. Ba-o-t, boat. So, like I said, with all of these, like I said last week, all of these vowel teams, they won't ever say their short sound together. Like you won't ever have ba-a-eta, ba-a-eta. That won't ever be a word. You just have to know that O-A together is that vowel team that makes long O. All right, next word. Going. Your turn. Go-ing. Going. Going. Now the word going, I hear the word go. G says ga. This one is O by itself. Ga-o. And the word was going. So at the end, I hear the word, or I hear the sound, I-N-G. So if you were to see this in a book, you might start to sound it out and see just, you're chunking it, and you see G-O, which it's a high frequency word. I know that word, go, and then I-N-G, ing. So ga-ah-i-unga, ga-ah-i-unga. You don't hear the same one. So you kind of have to know that you can flip that O and turn it into a long O. Because now O by itself can say the long sound. Ga-o-i-unga, ga-o-i-unga. Oh, going, maybe? Okay. Next word. Unload. Your turn. Un. Ul. O. Da. unload. So I'm taking this word load and I'm adding a prefix to it. Remember we did that last week. So I'm adding the prefix un. You just have to know un. And then I have the word load. L says O, O-A, vowel team working together to say that long O sound. And D says duh. Unload. So last week we talked about prefixes and what they mean. So in this word unload, that UN means not. So not loading or loaded. Okay? So if you have a car full of things because you took a trip and when you get to your destination, you need to take all of your bags out of the car. So you are unloading the car. Okay, let's read our board. No, go. So, bold. Your turn. Wonderful. Load, goes. Toad, told. Your turn. Excellent. Bat, boat. Going, unload. Your turn. Wonderful. All right, let's do a sentence. So, high frequency word can. You know we have a capital C because it's the beginning of a sentence. Can I? So now I'm talking about myself. Can I do something? G says ga. Now we can sound it out. O by itself says O, go. O, can I go? To. So this is a high frequency word, and it's one of those that you'll never be able to sound out because you say the word to. You know that T-O is the word to. And if you tried to sound it out, even with the long sound, even with the short sound, it just doesn't sound right. Ta-ah, ta-o. Yeah, see, it just does not sound right when you try to say it with the long sound O or with the short sound ah. So again, this is a teeny tiny word. So you should just know that T-O is to. Thank you. Can I go to high frequency word the? Again, another one that you'll never be able to sound out. You just have to know it. Can I go to the SH? Shh. Again, digraph. You just have to know that S and H together say shh. It will never, ever, ever, ever in any word say sah, saha, saha. Never, ever. And OW, one of our vowel teams. We didn't get to too much of it in the board. We'll get to it a little bit later this week. OW is another way to say that long O sound. Sh, O, show. All right, let's read our sentence. Can I go to the show? Your turn. Beautiful. All right, so we need some punctuation. So, go ahead and stand up. So I want you to throw your hands high in the air if you think it's going to be a period. All right. And throw your hands high in the air if you think it's going to be an exclamation point. And jump in the air if you think it's going to be a question mark. All right, so got our movements. All right, thank you. So 3, 2, 1, movements. Excellent. So this is going to be a question mark. And of course, when you go back and review the video, definitely do those movements again. It'll be helpful and fun. Can I go to the show? It's a question because it has an answer. So if you were to ask your mom, hey mom, can I go to the show? There's a show at school. I really want to go and see my friends. Can I go to the show? Mom might say, no, I'm sorry, you can't go. We're going to grandma's house tonight, so we're busy. Or mom might say, yeah, sure. Go right ahead. Make sure that you're making smart choices. Can I go to the show? All right, so that's a question. So it has a question mark. It could never, ever, ever have a period or an exclamation point. Never, ever. Okay, let's do some nouns and some verbs. So a noun, person, a place, or a thing, we know this. So the word I, that is a pronoun. And you use the word I, the only time you use the word I is when you're talking about yourself. And so if I were to put my name in there, can Mrs. Porter go to the show? That would mean that I'm talking about myself in the third person. Whereas talking about I, or using the word I'm talking about myself in the first person. So we'll learn a little bit more about third and first person. So can I go to the show? So that's our pronoun. So we have a regular noun, the word show. The word show is a noun. In this sentence, the word show is a place because that's where someone is going to go, or that's where they're asking if they can go. All right, and then we have one verb, go. Oopsie, it's a real verb. So the word go is what I am asking to do. So we always talk about how the verb is something that the noun does. So the pronoun in this case, I, who I'm talking about, I want to go somewhere. That's what I want to do. And where do I want to go? I want to go to the show, and I'm asking someone if I can do that. All right, wonderful. Thanks for your focus and participation. Make sure you go back and you review the video to really help yourself. Have a good day.